Against popular belief, plastic wasn't invented to save the planet, revolutionize technology, or even make life easier. It was born from a chemical accident during a failed experiment by a man who was trying to fix something completely unrelated. And it only gets stranger from here. Imagine a world where almost everything comes from nature. Your buttons are made from bone, your comb is carved from horn, your billiard balls made from elephant ivory. Picture the late 1800s. Factories are booming, electricity is spreading, and inventors are racing to solve problems faster than common sense can keep up. Science is exciting, dangerous, and occasionally on fire. And in this world, materials are a serious problem. Back then, people didn't have options. If you wanted something strong, you used metal. If you wanted flexible, you used rubber, which melted in summer and cracked in winter. If you wanted something smooth and hard, you used ivory, which meant killing elephants. By the mid-1800s, ivory shortages were so bad that companies were literally offering cash prizes to anyone who could invent a substitute. No pressure, just save the elephants and the industry. So the expected story sounds simple. A genius carefully designs a brand new miracle material to replace ivory. But the truth is much messier and way more human. Early attempts were disasters. One inventor created a material that exploded. Another made something that warped in heat. One poor soul accidentally invented an early plastic that smelled so bad people refused to touch it. Progress was basically trial, error, and regret. But this is where it gets weird. In 1907, a chemist named Leo Baekeland wasn't thinking about ivory, animals, or consumer goods at all. He was focused on electricity, the shiny new force that promised to change the world. The problem? Electrical wires needed insulation. Natural shellac worked, but it was expensive, unpredictable, and came from beetle secretions. Yes, beetles. Science was wild back then. Baekeland decided to improve shellac by mixing phenol and formaldehyde under heat and pressure. He expected a better resin. Instead, he created something completely different, a hard, dark substance that refused to melt, refused to dissolve, and refused to behave like anything known to science. At first, it looked useless. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't flexible, it didn't feel natural. Most chemists would have tossed it aside as a failed experiment and moved on. But Baekeland noticed something strange. Once this material hardened, it stayed that way forever. That was unheard of. And that triggered something nobody saw coming. Baekeland realized he had accidentally created the first fully synthetic plastic, a material not found anywhere in nature. Unlike previous materials, this one could be poured into molds, shaped precisely, and mass-produced with almost identical results every time. Heat didn't soften it, electricity didn't damage it, time barely touched it. He named it Bakelite. At first, manufacturers were skeptical. Designers thought it was ugly, consumers didn't trust it. People associated weight and natural texture with quality, and plastic felt wrong, cheap, fake, almost insulting. So Baekeland aimed lower. He sold Bakelite for light switches, electrical sockets, and radio casings, things people didn't need to admire, just trust not to burn their houses down. And suddenly, it worked. Factories loved it, engineers loved it, electric companies needed it. Slowly, plastic crept into everyday life. Then someone asked a dangerous question. What if we can mold this? What else can we make? That was the turning point. Chemists across the world began experimenting. Softer plastics, clear plastics, flexible plastics, strong plastics. Suddenly, plastic wasn't just one thing, it was a whole family of materials. Each new version cheaper, lighter, and easier to shape than the last. World War II accelerated everything. Metal was scarce, rubber was rationed, plastic filled the gaps. Helmets, wiring, vehicle parts, medical tools. After the war, factories didn't slow down. They went wild. This was the moment everything changed.
Plastic left factories and entered homes. Tupperware, toys, toothbrushes, telephones, furniture, packaging. For the first time in history, everyday objects could be mass-produced cheaply for millions of people. Modern consumer culture exploded, powered by a material that didn't exist 50 years ago. But the real impact came later. Plastic reshaped medicine with sterile tools and disposable syringes. It reshaped food with packaging that extended shelf life. It reshaped technology. Computers, screens, cables, and smartphones are impossible without it. Even space exploration depends on plastic for lightweight components and insulation. Right now, you are surrounded by it. You're touching it, wearing it, using it, probably without thinking twice. And here's the twist. Plastic didn't change the world because it was planned. It changed the world because someone looked at a failed experiment and asked, what else could this be? It's a reminder that mistakes aren't always dead ends. Sometimes they're doors no one meant to open. And this isn't the only hidden history shaped by accident.